Well, I'm here today with Congresswoman Jackie Speier. We've been talking about Undaunted, which chronicles the Jonestown massacre. This was not a suicide, it was a murder. This was a cult. This involved mind control, coercion, and this book, we've just passed the 40th anniversary, and this talks about it and everything that took place from her point of view. Rick Alan Ross is an expert on cults. He's assisted in over 500 interventions around the world, and he's the author of Cults Inside Out. And he says that Jonestown was a destructive cult in the worst possible sense. Rick, thank you so much for being here. I find this, from a psychological perspective, such a fascinating phenomenon. How does this happen?
I think the single most salient feature of a destructive cult is that the leader becomes an object of worship. Now, Jim Jones initially was ordained as a United Disciples of Christ minister. He was respected in the Bay Area. He was a political mover and shaker. But that bond of the Bible and social justice and being Christians trying to make a better world faded, and it faded. And what became the meaning of the People's Temple was not what they were going to do, but who they were led by, and that person's power. So he became the defining element, driving force of the group, and it became basically a personality cult. And Jim Jones used identifiable methods of manipulation knowingly in order to control the people. He would describe the outside world in very negative ways. He would create incredible fear, which he used to leverage his own power in the group. He made the people feel that they had nothing left to go to, that if they left Jonestown, their families wouldn't take them back. There was nothing out there. And all they could hear was the public address system. There were no newspapers. There was no television.
Well, we know the number one tool of the abuser is isolation. And as you two have said, it just wasn't your time. And look at what you've done. You've converted that pain into drive.
So, that was not the only trauma in my life, though. My husband was killed in an automobile accident when I was pregnant with our second child. One failed adoption, 2 miscarriages. And I always thought that everyone had their fair share of trauma. And then I realized you don't. And what you need to do is bring the resources that make you whole. And for me, it was what I call the 3 Fs: family, friends, and faith.
Right. And boy, that is a good, powerful formula, right? I want to thank all of my guests today. A special thanks to Rick Alan Ross, cult expert and author of Cults Inside Out. And let me tell you, that is a book you just will learn a lot from reading, I promise you. And a very special thanks for Congresswoman Jackie Speier taking the time to be here today. She is the author of Undaunted, and I really hope that you read this book. I read it cover to cover and could not put it down. I highly recommend it. For more information about today's show, log on to drphil.com. Tell us what you think on Facebook and Twitter, and we will see you next time.